Hello, hello. Welcome to this live. My name is Juliana Rabi, career coach for remote jobs, and today I will review some resumes, some CV live to give you feedback about it so you can learn how to improve your own resume to land the remote job you want to land. Okay, so there will be live reviews happening today. Yes, it's very practical, it's very helpful because even if I'm not reviewing your resume, you will learn. I can guarantee that you will learn from the resumes I'm reviewing today. You'll be able to review your own resume to improve things, and you will benefit directly from this live. So thank you for having you here. My name is Juliana Rabi, career coach for remote jobs, and I'll be reviewing some resumes for remote jobs live today. Okay. If you're watching live, just please say hi in the chat and confirm if the sound is okay, if the video is okay. I'm just gonna do some quick technical check-ins here. Let me just see that. So if you can confirm if you can hear me, if you can see me, that will be very, very helpful. We are streaming on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. So 3 different channels. I just need to do some technical check-ins here. Let's see. So if you can hear me, just say hi in the chat. Just let me know that it's all correct. For the ones on LinkedIn and YouTube, I would also appreciate if you can say hi in the chat. Also, you can let me know if this is the first time you're watching one of my lives. Let me know also that. I know that I normally recognize some names already in the chat from people who have been watching my lives previously, but you are very welcome. If this is the first time that you're watching this live, just let me know in the chat, and you also confirm if the sound is good and the audio is good, so I can start with the content that I prepare for you today, okay? So welcome to the ones who are joining now. This is actually the third live that I'm doing related to the same topic, right? Reviewing resumes live, remote jobs, right? For people who want a more flexible job, for people who value, I don't know, spending time with the loved ones and don't have to commute to the office every single day. People who are looking for a career change and they thought, you know what, why not also go for a job that offers me more flexibility? So the resume is a key part in this process. And I was actually reflecting early this morning. It's like, it's really sad that you don't land the remote job you want just because you don't have a good resume. You know what I mean? Maybe there are other aspects, right? Maybe you need more experience. Maybe, I don't know, you applied for a job that they were expecting a different profile. I know there are so many things that can happen. I worked as a recruiter for 15 years, so I know very well how does the recruitment process work and all of that. But if the only reason or the main reason that is stopping you from landing a remote job is the fact that you don't have a good resume, you know, this is so easy to fix. This is something I can help you with in this live, also in my programs. This is something I help my clients with. So don't let the resume be the thing that is stopping you from landing a remote job. You might need to work on other things too, okay? But we won't be able to cover all of that in this live. But it's just like, if the resume is the problem, if you are struggling with like trying to write your resume again for weeks, for months, for years, or if you're completely lost about it and you actually have no idea how to start fixing your resume for remote jobs, I get it. I know it can be overwhelming. I know it can be hard, but don't let this be the thing that is, you know, preventing you from landing the remote job you want. This is easy to fix. Well, easy for me after so many years of experience working with resumes, right? But I can help you to do that. So let's do this together. This live is designed for you who wants to apply for a remote job and is somehow struggling, having issues, feeling a bit insecure about how to write the best resume for a remote job. So let's do this together. I will help you with that. I want to do this live today, okay? So Feel free to use the chat if you have any questions, any comments, if you want to ask anything about your specific situation, your specific resume, or if you're learning something from what I'm sharing, just use the chat. I'll keep an eye on it so we can interact also through the chat, okay? Perfect. So let me share this presentation that I created to put together some important ideas based on the conversations that I have with job seekers that reach out to me every single day on LinkedIn, on other social medias, on my email, right? So I have conversations with job seekers every single day. This is what I do as a recruiter, okay? I talk about resumes, remote jobs, job interviews, LinkedIn. I talk about those topics all the time. First, because I love, and second, because those are the tools, those are the steps my clients need to follow, to land the remote job they want. So resumes and CVs for a remote job is a topic that I talk almost on a daily basis. I study, I attend course. So I have been investigating about this topic for many years already. And I want to let you know that 6 seconds is all you have when it comes to resume, when it comes to causing a good impression on the recruiter. 6 seconds, just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. That's all you have to impress the recruiter when you send a resume to the person, okay, to the recruiter. I will suggest, based on my own experience as a recruiter, that you don't count on a second chance. It's like, don't expect that the person will maybe eventually later dedicate another extra 6 seconds to you. You don't know that, so don't count on it. It's a bit risky. It might not happen, okay? So what I invite you to do is to ensure that you have the wow effect, that your resume is so good, is so well written, is so aligned with the remote job you want to apply for, that you're going to cause the wow effect. The wow effect is like that. The recruiter opens your resume and it's like that. Wow, that's really good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I want to call this person. I want to invite this person for an interview. So this is what I mean by the wow effect, okay? You cause that positive impact, that impression that you are really good for that position. So the recruiter can't resist, and you keep reading the resume and is already think like, I want to invite this person for a job interview. So this is the wow effect, okay? It's so positive. It's so linked. It's such a match with the requirements for the job, with what the recruiter is searching for, that he's positively impacted with your resume, even if they decide to spend only 6 seconds reviewing your resume. I don't think it's fair, the 6 seconds rule. It's also not something I made up, okay? You can even search on Google. A lot of recruiters, a lot of career coaches, they talk about that. 6 seconds is the average time that recruiters will spend initially in your resume. They will have like a quick glance, and then they will decide if they want to read it or not. So 6 seconds is all you have to cause a good impression at the very beginning. So let's make the most of it, okay? But then there is the other side of the story, which is the fact that recruiters are busy. And I know that because I was a recruiter for many years. I was extremely busy most of the time, not 100% of the time, but most of the time I was very busy. So you need to take that into consideration, that recruiters are busy. Sometimes they're also lazy. Sometimes they just like, don't feel like reading much, or they're thinking like what they're going to do after work. We're all humans, right? So they shouldn't be lazy, but some people are lazy, and recruiters are people. So some recruiters are also lazy. We need to take that into consideration, okay? And what I invite you to do is to try as much as possible to make the recruiter's life easier, because that's going to benefit them. They're going to be more likely to read your resume, and it's going to benefit you, because if they read your resume, and if you wrote your resume as I'm going to teach you today, following my instructions, it's going to be a wow resume. So once they read it, they will confirm that you are the good fit for the job and they can invite you for a job interview. So you want to make the recruiter lives easier. This should be your goal now if you're searching for a remote job. So make the recruiter lives easier because it is a win-win situation. Look, recruiters, their job, okay, if we make it very simple, is to fill up positions that are open. So they need to find candidates that are a good match for a position, then they connect both, the candidate goes through the recruitment process and all of that, and the candidate is recruited. So this is what recruiters are looking for. This is what success is going to look like for a recruiter. Cover the open positions, fill up the open positions with a candidate. What the situation is going to look like will be successful to you is if you land the remote job you're looking for. So a win-win situation is you land the job, the remote job that you want, and recruiters fill up the open position they have. That's the win-win situation. So when you make the recruiter's life easier, okay, when you understand that they can be lazy sometimes, and when you understand that 99% of the times recruiters are busy, you will understand how important it is to, write your resume in a way that, despite the fact that they are busy, despite the fact that they will probably dedicate only 6 seconds to review your resume moves forward into the recruitment process. So keep those things in mind because you're going to benefit from that, okay? Another thing, and this is a common mistake that I see job seekers making. They play guessing games, okay? And let me explain what is that, because maybe you're also doing the same thing and you're not even knew about it, okay? I want you to be clear and very explicit about your skills in your resume, okay? I want you to make it clear. Use that document, use the space, use the words of your resume to be extremely clear and extremely explicit about your skills. Why is that? Because you should not count on the recruiter guessing that you are a good fit for the job, that the recruiter is making assumptions, that the recruiter is maybe understanding, that the recruiter hopefully will see that you're a good fit for the job. That's very risky. That's what I call guessing games. You're guessing that the recruiter will guess. It's too many guesses involved. It's very risky, okay? So what you should do instead is aim for a big alignment, a big connection, a big link between what you write in your resume, what you write, the way you write, to the job description requirements. So it should be crystal clear that what they're looking for in that job, you have that experience, skill, you use that IT tool, you have done that thing before. So it should be a big alignment, a very clear link between what they're looking for in the position, in the job description, and what you wrote on your resume, because then you don't need to count on the recruiter guessing, hopefully assuming, maybe understanding that you're a good fit for the job, because you're going to be very clear and very explicit about your skills. So don't play the guessing games. Guessing games, they can be fun in other contexts, but when it comes to landing a job, it's extremely risky. You don't want to cross your fingers and just hope, I hope that the recruiter is gonna see your value in your resume. We will understand that you're a good fit for the job. At least that's not how I recommend, because it's extremely risky, okay? Your chances are decreasing. So just make it clear, just make it more explicit, because it's gonna for sure increase the chances that the recruiter will see your value, will see how aligned you are with the job you're applying for, and will invite you for that remote job interview, okay? So that said, instead of playing guessing games, I invite you to get started, okay? And the way you get started is committing to land the remote job you want. I speak to some job seekers that are casually looking for a remote job. Casually looking means when I have time between one meeting and the other, when they cancel a call, for example, then I go and I check LinkedIn to see if I find some remote jobs, then I apply, or I have, signed up for some job alerts. So from time to time, I receive some jobs in my inbox, and then if I receive one that seems to be good, then I go and apply, or maybe on a Saturday afternoon, if I'm doing nothing, before I go out and meet my friends, I just go on my computer for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and I'm, checking what is out there. If I find a remote job, then I apply for it. This is casually looking. It's like you're not fully committed to landing the job you want. The other option, the one that will give you more results, let's be clear about it, is that you're committed to landing the remote job you want. You're fully committed. So you are actively taking the steps to land that job. So you're not just like randomly, eventually, from time to time, once every 2 weeks, committed to do that. You are fully committed to landing the remote job you want. So what you do, or what you should do, what I invite you to do, because I know it works, is that you prioritize the time to fix your resume. As I said at the beginning of this live, I feel really sorry for professionals like you who are not landing a remote job just because of their resume. If there are other elements involved, okay, we need to talk about it later. But the first step, the basic step, the necessary step to land a remote job is having a resume. So stop postponing it. Prioritize time to fix that, because this is one thing that sooner or later you're going to need to deal with. If you want to land a remote job, you need to fix your resume. So you can do it today, you can do it tomorrow, you can do it in 1 month, you can do it next year. So it will only delay, the time that, not delay, extend, sorry. The longer you take to fix your resume, the longer it will take for you to land the remote job you want. So if you prioritize the time to fix your resume, that's when things will start happening. That's when the magic will start happening, because you're really committed to landing a remote job, and then you increase the chances of actually landing that. So just do it, like that Nike publicity, right? Just do it. But that's it. Like, go for it. How many months, how many weeks have you been postponing working on your resume for remote jobs? And let me tell you this, life happens, okay? Life will not pause for you to focus on your job search, on landing a remote job, especially writing a resume, which is not the funniest thing in the world. And I have been writing resumes, reviewing resumes for clients for 20 years. But I know this is not the funniest thing in the world. I have fun in other ways also, Probably for you, writing a resume for a remote job is not I'm so excited about it, I want to do that. Probably it's not like that. It is something that you need to commit, right? To prioritize, to block your agenda to do it. So just do it. And if you need help for that, if you know that you need to prioritize your resume for a remote job, but you're still not sure how to do it, you're still not feeling totally confident about it, I can help you with that, okay? This is one of the things that I do for my clients. I help them to rewrite the resume, review the resume, improve the resume or CV for a remote job. So you can scan this QR code. It's the same QR code that is also on the upper part of the screen. So you have 2 options here, the same QR code, to join my exclusive group for remote resumes. And in this group, I will share a special offer for me to personally help your resume for remote jobs. So in 2 days, there will be the announcement of tomorrow is the announcement. In 2 days, you can book it, okay? The special offer that I will share only in this group. So if you want to know more how I can personally and directly help you with your resume for remote jobs, just scan this code and I will be happy to share more details in the group. Okay, so be my guest. Let's meet on the group and I will share all the details about the special offer that is valid only this Thursday, 2 days from now. That's the only day you can have my direct support to your resume writing for remote jobs with a special offer. Okay, so just scan this QR code and I'll talk more about the offer there. So now I want to open a little bit of space for the ones who are watching live to share in the chat if they have any questions so far, any comments based on what I shared. And if not, I'm going to go to the resume I want to review with you live today. So one of you send me your resume for remote jobs, and I will give feedback live right now about that resume, okay? But if you're live here watching, you can use the chat to make any comments, any questions, especially about this initial part of the live, okay? So let me get ready here to share the resume, okay, that I want to review live with you. So let me just open the file. I think I have it here already. So are you ready? Are you ready for one more resume review? Today I have Catherine. She sent me the resume. So Catherine, thank you very much for being so open to receive feedback about your resume here in the live. So I really appreciate you doing that. I don't know if you're watching live. If you are, please say hi in the chat. It's going to be very nice to see you here. I remember you were in one of the previous lives, right? You're very active in the chat. So if you're also watching live, let me know in the chat. It will be really nice to know that you're here. Before I dive deep into Catherine's resume, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think like that. You can visualize better, right? I amplified a bit the resume. I also want to say one thing. Look, the purpose of this live is to review the resume live and to give feedback about what can be improved, okay? So who is going to benefit from it? Catherine, for sure, because it's her resume, but everyone who is watching will also benefit from the feedback I'm giving, because there is a high chance, based in my experience, dealing with job seekers, searching for remote jobs all over the world, there is a high chance that you might be making one of the mistakes that Catherine is making in her resume. So it's not only about her. I'm happy that she shared the resume, so I will, talk about her resume, but it will probably help you also in your resume for remote jobs. Maybe the mistakes that she's making, you are making the same mistakes or similar mistakes, so you can understand the good elements that should be present in any resumes for remote jobs, and you will be able to improve your resume. So it is about the resume I'm sharing now, but it's also about your resume. So I suggest that you grab pen and paper to take notes, okay? Take notes, because I'm going to share a lot of information, might be a bit overwhelming, so just take notes, and then you can check your own resume and review that and implement the change, okay? So while I was preparing for this live, I will show you here. I took some notes. Can you see here in my notebook? Yes, I took some notes just to make sure that I don't forget anything I want to share. So I will keep my notebook here, and I'll be looking down. So if you see me doing this, looking down, it's because I'm sharing the notes just to make sure that I really make the most of this live and share important things here. So I'll be checking my notes. I prepared up front to be here with you, to be here in this live. So without further ado, Catherine, thank you once again for sharing your resume. There are a lot of amazing things in your resume. I need to tell you this. Congratulations for that. But the purpose of this live is to focus on the things that can be improved. So I'm going to be very straightforward. I'm going to be a bit hard. I'm warning you, but that's how you learn. That's how you can improve the resume. So all the good things that are present in your resume, I won't have time to go over them here. Apologies for that. But I'm sure that after my review, you'll be able to improve this resume even more, and also the ones who are watching that, okay? Perfect. So let's start. Details, they matter a lot when it comes to resume, okay? So the small things will also make a difference. The layout, the appearance, okay, the visual part, the margins of the text, start a phrase with a capital letter, put a dot at the end of the phrase, all the format, all of that. Let me quickly scroll down a resume so you can have an overview about it, okay? So appearance matters, details matter, especially like the more you improve your resume, at some point, the details will make even more of a difference, right? If it's a very messy, bad written resume, the recruiter will focus on other things. But if the resume is already good, the details will matter. So, Catherine, in this case, look, I want to go to the keywords part here to give you an example. When you use this vertical bar here, okay, to separate the keywords, the key ideas, you need to leave any space between the bar and the word. So you see here, this vertical bar and attention, the word attention, there is no space between that. Same thing here, this vertical bar and the word strong, they are together. So just give a space on your computer. That's it. That's all I mean, like a small space. Look, here you did that between the word gatekeeper. There is a space, then there is the vertical bar, then there is another space, and there is the word strong. It is a small detail, very, very small detail, like, but keeping, given a space between the bar and the word is important. So here and here, you can do that, okay? Another thing that I noticed, back to the small details, right, is that the lack of a final dot period at the end of the phrase. So look, this is the final part of this bullet point. There is no dot, there is no point at the end. Same thing here. Pretty much, you know, the resume, Catherine, you didn't put a dot, you know, at the end of the phrase, like here, here, and all of it. Maybe this is just like a style, a way of writing, you know, here also. So I noticed that in every phrase, you didn't put a dot at the end. So maybe this is like a style, a way of writing, but as the resume is a formal document, okay, it's a standard document, we should not be super creative about it. So adding a dot at the end of each phrase is important. It's going to look better, okay? It's going to look like you were paying attention to details. So just review the whole document. I think in every bullet point, you didn't add a dot at the very end, okay, after the last phrase. So again, small details, but they will make a difference, okay? It's like the overall perception of your resume that matters, that counts. And if we can refine also the small details, I mean, why not, okay? I want to give you a perspective of the things that recruiters pay attention. I was a recruiter for 15 years. My eyes are very trained. I can't avoid it. It's like almost natural to see those details in the resume. And I noticed that along all the bullet points in every work experience, she didn't add the dot at the end of the phrase. So, but Juliana, that's such a small thing. I know. There are more serious things and concerns regarding resume writing, the ones I mentioned already in previous lives and other ones that I'm going to mention also here. But these also matter. So I want you to understand that when you write a resume, you should care about the main things, the major mistakes. You want to avoid them. But you also want to pay attention to the small details that will somehow also make an impact in the recruiter, okay? So space after this vertical bar and also the dots to take care of the overall layout impression of this document, and pay attention to the details, okay? Demonstrate that you are able to pay attention to details, because look how funny. You wrote here in the keywords that you have attention to details. This is one of the skills you have. So instead of only telling me that, you should demonstrate that in your resume. So one way to do that is keeping the spaces and the dots after the dots at the end of each phrase, okay? This is the first feedback I want to give you, Catherine. Then I'm going to scroll down a little bit, your resume, and I want to go to the experience part, okay? This part that you talk more in details about the previous jobs that you had, what you did there, your achievements and all of that. So that's a very, very important, it's a mandatory section of the resume. So well done for having that. I just want to make one comment here. This first bullet point, okay, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, 4.5 lines, okay? It is, I know you divided the idea of this bullet point into smaller ideas. How do I know that? Because I read the resume, but also because I see this symbol here, right? The dot and the comma. So here, so this is another idea that you are separating with this dot and comma. So you picked up a bigger idea and you divide it into small pieces, into small parts, but they are always still part of one bullet point. The way I suggest writing bullet points is keeping them simple and short, okay? Because if you get 4.5 phrases and just add a bullet point at the end, what at the beginning, what you're doing is actually masking one paragraph, one block of text, and you're pretending to be a bullet point. Okay, a bullet point should be short. Okay, look, the second one, you also used 1, 2, 3, 5, 4.5 lines again. Okay, I suggest shorter bullet points. So I'm going to pick up another example that you did. So some of your bullet points are too long, but some are really good. So look at this one. 1.5 line. That's perfect. That's perfect. Look at this one also. This one. Again, 1.5 line. This one is 1 line, this bullet point. Oh, Juliana, but it's too short. No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Because look, if you are able to summarize, to shorten up the idea that you want to share in your resume in one phrase, it means that you narrow down to the core idea that you want to share, and you're making it easy for recruiters to not only read your resume, but understand the point, understand what you want to share. So it's actually very challenging. I find it challenging. That's my experience, to summarize so much things in only 1 line or 2 lines, but that's necessary. That helps your resume to stand out from others. So this one, this job here, right, the recruitment and marketing manager, the way you wrote the bullet points, it's much more fluid, easy to read, easy to understand, because each bullet point is short. It lasts, the length is 1 line or maximum 2 lines. But here, in the recent jobs, you went for 4.5, almost 5 lines of bullet points. So it's not very practical. It's not very easy to read. So again, if you write a resume, right, when you write a resume for remote jobs, what you want is that the recruiter reads that document. That's the thing, right? Because otherwise you're wasting our time here. I'm wasting mine, you're wasting yours. So if resumes were not important to land remote jobs, we wouldn't bother talking about them, writing them, dedicating time to it. So you actually want the person who gets the resume, who receives it, who finds it, who see it on the database, wherever they get this document, you actually want the person to read it, right? That's logical. But then we forget that, remember what I said in the presentation before, recruiters are busy, recruiters, some of them are lazy, so you need to make it easier for the recruiter, feel more compelled, feel more motivated to read your resume, and also get the idea straight to the point. Remember the 6 seconds rule. The recruiter is going to scroll down quickly your resume, screen it, fast reading, and if he or she finds interesting stuff, like, oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for, then they will go back and read the resume more. But less is more, okay? Short bullet points, 1 or 2 lines will be much more effective, okay? So this is something that you can review and adjust in your resume, okay? Then I want to scroll down, still talking about experience. I want to go to the third job that you mentioned, which is this one, okay, the recruitment and marketing manager. And here, Catherine, something important happened, which is you were hired as an executive assistant, and then you were promoted to the recruitment and marketing manager after only 6 months. So first of all, well done for this super fast promotion, right? Internal promotions, they always talk about recognition of how good you were in that job, alignment with the company's culture and, company's philosophy and all of that. And it confirms that you're doing a good job. So there are only good things when you get promoted, right? It helps to position you as someone that is a good employee, because this company recognized that and also promoted you. So well done for the promotion. But I want to make it even more explicit, this promotion, right? Because look, when you wrote this date here, I don't know, I'm assuming that from June 2017 until December or January to, let's say December 2017 or January 2018, you were working as executive assistant, and then since January 2018, you were recruitment and marketing manager. But remember what I mentioned before, let's not play guessing games. Let's make it easier for recruiters. I had to stop and calculate the time, and this was easy, 6 months, but if it was a more complex number, it would take me longer. So make it more visual, more clear on the resume, the internal promotion, okay? So the way I suggest you do that is that you put the most recent position first. So you put, so here you start with Casa of Monterey County, you put the link to their company page and you put the full date. So June 2017 to November 2020. And then on the next line, in the line below, you write recruitment and marketing manager. Then you can put a vertical bar and you put the dates, let's say June 2017 until December 2017. And then you can list some of the tasks, achievements, bullet points related to that position. And after that, you go to the initial position that you had, which was the executive assistant, right? And you put the dates of that position and then you talk about it, okay? So visually, it's very clear, the internal promotion. Or if you want, you can create one line for this one with the dates. Right below, you create another line for this position with the dates. And you can talk about the bullet points, the achievements, all that you did. You can talk about that together if you want to connect them, because it was like only 6 months in one position, most of the time in the other position. You can talk together. You can use the same bullet points to talk about both positions, but I suggest that you make it more visually clear. You separate the two different positions you had with the respective dates of each position, okay? And if you think about LinkedIn, okay, the way the work experience appears on LinkedIn, it will be like that. It is like that. On LinkedIn, it's very visual, that you worked for one company, so the company's name appears on the upper part, and then the most recent job title, and then the second most recent, and all of that. So I invite you to use the same aesthetics that LinkedIn suggests, because it's very clear, it's very visual. And again, it's all about making the recruiter's life easier. If we can be more explicit about the promotion you had, it's better than putting it here in a line and having the recruiter to calculate how long and all of that, okay? So make it more clear. So this job here, break it down into the same job, but you're going to list in one line the recruitment and marketing manager position with the date, and then in the line below, the executive assistant with the respective date. And then you can put all the bullet points together if you want, or you can put specific bullet points for each of them, okay? But just make it more visual, that here you received an internal promotion after only 6 months, because that's amazing. That speaks loads about you. That's a very good thing. You want to highlight that. You want to maximize that. Okay. And okay, my final comment about your resume, Catherine, is that, look, I was reading it, and you mentioned here, look, that you are seeking for a remote position. I got that. But what is not clear is if you have remote work experience. It's not clear to me. And there are so many ways, so many places in the resume that you can be clear about it, right? If you have remote work experience, but you are not clear about it. So if you have remote work experience, make sure you mention about it in the summary, which is this initial part of the resume. In the keywords, on the skills, you can also mention that. In the experience, you can mention that. In the here, core competence and skills. All of those parts you can mention in different ways that you have remote work experience, but I don't see it here. Okay. The other option is that maybe you don't have remote work experience yet, which is totally fine, okay? But in this case, remember, you most likely have soft skills transferable skills that you learned, that you acquired in a different setup that was not remote work. Maybe it was in a hybrid work environment. Maybe it was in the office. It doesn't matter. But I'm sure, Catherine, that if you check carefully and understand the requirements for the remote jobs you're looking for, you will find things that you have experienced, you have done in the past, even if it was in a different context, even if it was not in a remote job, that you can highlight and you can mention in the resume, because showing that you have remote work previous experience and or remote work skills that you're ready, prepared, qualified to land a remote job is amazing. Recruiters will love to see that. So demonstrate through the different parts of your resume that you are ready to work remotely, that you have all the skills, that you meet the remote work requirements, because this will for sure increase the chances that you move forward to the next steps of the recruitment process, okay? So once again, Catherine, thank you for sharing your resume. Thank you for letting me review it live. And I hope you can implement those things that I shared, this feedback, to to have an even better resume for a remote job, okay? Thank you for that. I hope it was helpful for everyone watching. As I said, it is about, the feedback is about the resume I was sharing, but it's about resumes in general for remote jobs. So if you're taking notes about it, I'm sure you can review your resume and maybe implement something here, something there, to just have a better document, and to don't let the resume be the thing that is stopping you from the remote job you want, okay? Once again, I want to invite you to scan this QR code here that is on the screen, and you are going to be directed to a exclusive group related to remote resumes, okay? And in 2 days from now, on Thursday, I will make a special offer for you to have my direct support in your resume for remote jobs, okay? So I will teach you how to write your resume. I will review your resume. So there are a lot of things related to it that will be available with a special offer, but only this Thursday, only 2 days from now. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, if you want to understand what is this special offer, if you need my help to improve your resume, if you want my review of your specific resume, just scan this code here. Let's talk about it on a separate group. I won't be sharing the details here, so you really need to go to the group. So scan this QR code and I will meet you there in the group to talk more about your situation, your resume, your struggles with that, how you can improve your document. So I'll see you here in this group, okay? Thank you for being live with me. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching the recording. I hope you also enjoyed this live, and I will see you in the group here, and I'll see you also in future lives here, okay? Thank you very much. Have an amazing day. Bye.